5 tips for self-sufficiency in a changing economy. Let's be honest, what we are experiencing now is unlike what we had in the years prior. So we need to know more information than ever before, and we have to take action on it. So that's what we're going to learn today. What do I have to do right now, today, as a result of all these things that I'm talking about in the daily videos? Well, I wanted to begin by discussing the fact that the world economy, it's constantly evolving, and shifts in global economic power and influence can have significant impacts on individuals and communities around the world. Look at the geopolitical tensions rising. Look at what has happened as a result of the tariff wars and, of course, the basic shutdown of the supply chain and what we had in 2020. We know that. We know that's an issue. Well, building self-sufficiency skills can be particularly relevant as it can help individuals adapt to changing economic conditions and reduce their dependence on external economic systems that may be subject to instability or disruption. Take the supply chain, for instance, how bad that was. You couldn't get certain things. Where's my toilet paper? I mean, this is the world we live in today. And that's not going to change. We know that's probably just going to decline and get worse. So there are things we can do. Here's how each of the 5 tips for self-sufficiency can be relevant in the context of a world economic shift, which we're going through right now. Let's not forget that. Grow your own food. It's something I talk about all the time, but I'm going to bring it up here again. In the face of potential economic downturns or trade disruptions, having the ability to grow your own food can be an important way to ensure your access to fresh and nutritious food. This can also help reduce your reliance on the global food market, which may be subject to price fluctuations and supply chain disruptions. And by the way, some people are thinking, that stuff is behind us. Right now, I just covered a couple articles in the previous videos talking about the UK. They don't have leeks, they don't have apples, they don't have pears. All of these things are starting to be disrupted. And of course, you might not see that in the area you are, but some people are feeling that. And that's just a couple examples. Look at other areas. As soon as Ukraine-Russia happened, then they suddenly couldn't get wheat. Now that's a big problem. Arab Spring could happen. All these different things could occur. So what do? The one thing you have control over is the ability to grow your own food. Additionally, investing in local and sustainable food systems can help promote economic resilience and reduce the negative impacts on the global economic systems on local communities. Okay, really important stuff. You can't avoid this. It is, inevitable the way that we're looking at it today, and we can take action. Learn basic survival skills. In a potential economic crisis, having basic survival skills can be essential to your well-being and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. This can include skills like finding clean water, building shelter, growing food, which can help you meet your basic needs even if the external economic systems are disrupted. I have mentioned this publicly on the channel many times before. Find a spring. You go to a search engine, you type in find a spring. This website will show you springs, water springs around you that can provide you with water if you needed it. And some people, they happen to live relatively close to it and they go there regularly, and that's where they get their water from. So that's one option for you. Always have that. At least have it in the back of your mind, okay? And then we need to look at the next one, which is additionally having these skills can help you become more resourceful and adaptable in the face of economic challenges, and can potentially open up new economic opportunities. If you're the one growing the food in your environment, guess what? A lot of people may want to buy from you, because if they wanted lettuce, for instance, and all the supermarkets didn't have any lettuce, you could provide it to them. That's a service, right? Reduce your energy consumption. Finding ways to reduce your energy consumption can help you save money and reduce your dependence on the global energy markets that may be subject to that instability in prices. Those increases had been something that were terrible, especially in Europe. Even today, while the prices have come down, for instance, with natural gas in Europe, they are still much higher than where they were just a few years ago. So our ability to reduce those costs is going to help us long term. This is very important. This can include investing in renewable energy sources like solar or wind, reducing unnecessary energy usage through lifestyle changes, and using energy efficient appliances. This is some important, like depending on where you are, if you're living in this really sunny area, then maybe solar panels are right for you. It depends on your circumstances. You could use geothermal for some areas. It really all depends, but being able to actually deal with that is really, really important. Okay, for a lot of people, they ignore it, and that is unwise. Okay. Additionally, promoting local and decentralized energy systems can help reduce the negative impacts on the global economic systems and on the environment. And that's something that people really do take advantage of, because they're saying, hey, this food supply, it's going to be here forever. But that really isn't the case. Stock up on essential supplies. In the face of potential economic instability, having a stockpile of essential supplies can be important to ensure your access to necessities like food, water, and medical supplies. However, it's important to balance stockpiling with avoiding overconsumption. You don't want that as well. You want to know what you're getting so that with the amount that you're investing in that, you're going to spread that into what you really need. You don't want too much of one thing, because you're deploying capital. It's an investment. And so you want that capital to be deployed in the right places. And that takes time. That takes a little bit of energy and thought. So make sure you got that on hand, okay? And ensure a plan for rotating and replenishing your supplies over time. That's key as well. For a lot of people, these are things that they just don't think about, really. Learn to repair and maintain things. In a potential economic crisis, learning to repair may actually save money, reduce dependence. These are the things that for a lot today, we don't do that. We take what we have, we use it a few times, oh, it broke, we toss it away. Some things can be repaired, and this really goes for anything. And even if it's something like maintaining our cars, maintaining our appliances and so on, these might be things, really simple things that we can go on YouTube and we get a few basic things to look up and we can figure it out. But for some people, they spend a lot of money on something that really could have just taken them maybe 10 minutes to figure out on their own. So that's something that you can do actually in advance and look up these things. Say, hey, you know what? I'm going to need to maintain that 6 months from now. Let me learn how to do it. And you could learn a lot of that stuff online, okay? It can include repairing clothing, electronics, furniture. They can extend their lifespan, reducing waste. Additionally, promoting a culture of resourcefulness and self-sufficiency can help reduce the negative impacts on the systems that we are using. This is important for everybody to learn, really, because we're just taking advantage of the systems that we have. And if 2020 taught us anything, it's that they are so frail and fragile. Building self-sufficiency skills can be an important way to adapt to the shifts that we are experiencing. And for a lot of people, I think ultimately, if they don't, it's going to be a world of hurt. You either, as I have right here over my shoulder, we have the two pillars. You got to have that self-sufficiency. You got to be prepared. On the other side, what we need to do is substantially increase our income. Because if we are worth, 30, 40, 50 million plus, okay, we can pay for anything. Inflation doesn't really hit that hard as long as we're reasonable with our spending. But not that many people are in that position. So we need to be self-sufficient, at least more so than the average person would be. And that helps out the whole community. That's the point. If we're doing better, well, then other people around us are going to be better off too. You're not going to be that one to go to that, last minute, head over to the store, rushing to get the stuff from the store shelves, because you're already prepared. So that's what we learned in 2020. That was a very, very real example of what could happen any day, any day they could say we're going to go back to that 2020 zone and people are going to get back into that panic again. We want to be ready before it happens. I hope this information was valuable to you. If you did find it informative and valuable, please share this with someone you know. Share it on your Twitter, on your Facebook, and so on. Would really help to get the word out. I want to thank you for being here today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.